Get ready to rock. Please welcome Mark Schulman.
Wow, what an intro. Anyway, my friends, I'm so excited. I love doing virtual presentations. I'm 6,000 miles away. I love London. I love Britain. I love being in Europe. I have a Swedish wife, as a matter of fact. But enough of that. Today, I am here to celebrate you. And nobody better to celebrate you than someone like me, because I'll be your own personal rock star at your service. But I got one little question for you. Are you ready to rock? If you're ready to rock, say yeah. Oh, wait, I forgot you're in front of your computer, so you can kind of say it quietly. Just say yeah. But either way, are you ready to rock? Let's do this. Like every bit of verbal communication you share with your customers, with your associates, with your family, that next phone call you're going to make, you can consider that a performance. And every bit of written communication, every email, every document, every tweet, that next text you're going to send, that is a performance. And today we are focusing on the attributes of the rock star performers, because for rock star performers, there are no small moments. But there was something else going on, and this is critical. You were actively listening. And because you were actively listening, you were responding in real time, as opposed to reacting. Now, we are so reactive in these days of COVID. And when you react, you're playing old tapes, old thoughts, old prejudices, and you're not present, and it actually weakens your power. Whereas when you were responding, it actually gives you more power because you're present. But because if I can get your agreement, I'm actually going to test you. Are you ready for the little test? Here we go. Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I believe you. You've worked hard enough. Well, sustainable rock star performers know that it's not just about the performance, but it's about having the best time with each performance. And that might seem a little insignificant, but it actually is one of the top tiers of the rock star attitude, because there have been many studies that show the better time you are having with your performance, the higher level in which you perform. Not to mention, you're just having a better time. And there is no secret about my industry. Rock stars love to party. I love to party. Now, I bet a few of you love to party. It's okay to admit it. But that was also the moment that I realized, wow, we know we cannot control what happens to us, as evidenced by what is going on in our lives now. But it is the grace with which we handle disruption, challenges, life-threatening situations, and in spite of those challenges, to provide what I call rock star information, rock star communication, solutions, service. That's what determines the future of our relationship with our clients, the future of our relationships with our associates, the future of our relationships with our business. And listen, I understand for all of us, business has flipped upside down. My daughter is doing her school inside. She's done at 12. Everything has changed. In the month of March and April, I had 19 speaking gigs fall off, either get postponed or get canceled. So I understand what it's like. I understand how we feel. But I also realize what it comes down to is how we manage change. And there's really one of two ways to manage change. We either embrace it or we resist it. And I will tell you, because I do this full-on, what I call rock show disguised as a keynote, I was resisting the heck out of doing a virtual presentation. Then I woke up one morning and I said, what are you doing, man? And I decided to embrace it. The moment I embraced it, I came up with all these new and unique and creative ideas and excitement toward actually expanding what I do. So what is the continuity? What is the activator for these great world-class performers? I'll tell you exactly what it is. It is attitude. And I know a lot of you are thinking, really, drummer, that's the best you got? Attitude, schmatitude. I've been hearing about attitude my entire life. Oh my God. Well, my friends, I hope to strongly influence the way you think about attitude so you realize its absolute power. But first, I want to congratulate each and every one of you as being the proud owner of your very own attitude. Because like it or not, it's with you 100% of the time. It affects you. It infects you. It affects others. It infects others. It's very contagious. But what is so extraordinary about attitude, why I call it the golden ticket, is we know we cannot control what happens to us. That's obvious. But we always have the power. I mean, right now, you have the power to change, shift, control your attitude about what happens to you, which gives the power back to you. Remember, attitude is your viewpoint, and I call it your vantage point or your disadvantage point, depending on the attitude you choose. But remember, it's not what we look at, it's what we see and perceive that matters. And attitude is so powerful that the way that you view yourself, the lens through which you see the world, and the meaning that you attach to people, places, and circumstances are all based on the stories that you tell yourself. And these stories are based on the attitudes that you choose. So, what is your story? If it's a comedy, you're in great shape. What if it's a melodrama? What if it's a murder mystery? But attitude is the foundation for this extraordinary formula that I use in my life every single day. Because your attitude is actually what drives your behavior. Think about the power in that. One attitude can drive many behaviors, and your behavior is what determines the consequences of your life. And one behavior can drive many consequences. So yes, I am implying very strongly that by choosing and shifting your attitude, you could actually create more desirable outcomes. And this particular formula, A times B equals C, attitude times behavior equals consequence, is so powerful that I utilize it every single day of my life and have done so for many, many years. So my question to you is, when you hear about a formula like this that could potentially change your life, are you the kind of person that ignores it? Are you the kind of person who's interested? Are you the kind of person who is committed? Because if you ignore it, well, you never know what you're missing. You never know what could have been. If you're interested, well, you might incorporate it in your life. You might tell yourself a story as to why it doesn't work. But if you are committed, that is the rock star attitude because you simply do it. But what is also so extraordinary about attitude, how you can be of great service to others because you have the power to impact, to influence the attitudes, behaviors, and consequences of other people. And you actually have the power to make them better people. But let's look at sort of the anatomy of a client. Now, I will tell you that every decision that every one of your clients makes begins with their attitude first, about themselves, about you, about your brand. But it is about themselves. That's what matters the most. So if you take the time to do the due diligence, to find out more about them personally, to find out where they are coming from, to assume their viewpoint, to assume their attitude, it gives you incredible power. In other words, what you are doing is you are putting their well-being before your product or service. And I will tell you, one of the things that I do, part of my mantra or prayer before I get on any speech, is I pray to love everybody in the audience. Because to me, you're not customers or clients anymore. You become relationships. Because every bit of success I've had in my life is based on the relationships that I have cultivated. It's not about business. For me, everything is personal. But what I opted to do was probably the last thing in the world I wanted to do, but I knew it could be effective. I opted to smile. Oh yeah, that's what it looked like. It was so fake, but I knew if I allowed myself, it would turn real. And the moment that smile turned real, I felt my physiology completely change. My body relaxed, my heart slowed down, my head got clear. As a matter of fact, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I smile because I've learned that there's chemistry behind this because even if it's a fake smile and when it turns real, All the muscles in your face, there's hundreds of muscles in your face, actually send a signal to your body to relax. They send endorphins to your brain. So I have a call to action for you if you're willing to take it on. When we get done with this particular little presentation for the rest of the day, heck, you could do it for a week, you could do it for a month, you could do it for the rest of your life. But at least for one day, every single time you think of a have to, I want you to switch it to a get to. I want you to reframe it to just experiment and see how it affects your attitude, your behavior, and your consequences. Choosing a choice instead of a chore. Putting yourself in the cause position of this beautiful life you've worked so hard to create in spite of what's happening. Also, listen, I told you I would be your own personal rock star. Did you think I was only talking about today? How committed do you think I am? How committed are you? So I'm going to let Pink tell you about my third and final favorite attitude shift.
Mark Schulman on the drums. AKA Disneyland, because he's the happiest guy in the world. He reminds us all to be grateful. Thanks for that.
Oh yeah, Disneyland. Well, you know, it's a lot of responsibility to shoulder that particular nickname, Disneyland, the happiest place on earth. But that's because in the early days of our career, I used to always remind Pink about the power of gratitude. Now, I know a lot of you are embracing gratitude and understand its absolute power. I understand that it's fantastic, and it is powerful. It's incredibly powerful. And what is gratitude? Gratitude is simple appreciation for the small things, for the past things, present things, and anticipating future gratitude. It's the money in the bank, the fuel in the tank. It's your wins, your successes, as opposed to the opposite viewpoint where a lot of us are living these days, which is that viewpoint of scarcity, where you're focusing on the fear, on the anxiety, on the blocks and the barriers, and both are highly, highly contagious. But what I'd like to do with you today is I want to change your association of gratitude. I want you to start thinking about gratitude like it is a celebration, because that's what we do in the Pink Tour. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this to an action step. I want you to get out your phones. I'm going to have you send a gratitude text. Yes, we are. I want you to text somebody, tell them that you're grateful, and tell them why you're grateful. Because there's two components of gratitude. One is acknowledging gratitude. Two is expressing gratitude. When you have the opportunity to literally change somebody's state, change somebody's life. And I will tell you, my friends, I am so grateful and so honored for your time. Please remember, attitude times behavior equals consequence. Contact me if you like. I'm just going to end with a very quick Pink medley for your listening and dancing pleasure. Mwah. I'm sending you all so much love.
Break it down. Be a stupid girl.